the pentatonic scale. Check this out. A minor first inversion, B diminished, A minor, E minor over E, G, F major 7. This sound. It's a beautiful sound. Pentatonic. That we think we know. For me, for many years, I didn't really understand how to get free with the pentatonic scale, and I was quite frustrated because I just moved my fingers up and down hoping that this would work with a click, without a click, all these things, but it didn't really click for me. And what we're going to talk about today is a few devices, ideas, and mechanisms that really help getting free. Let's do this. First, we want to feel the pain in a truthful way, even just 2 notes. La, do, let's sing the scale. La, do, re, mi, sol, la, sol, mi, re, do, la. This is sounding very simple, because it is simple, but the truth is that a lot of us kind of skip these important building blocks and steps in order to understand what's going on. Another simple thing that I love doing that is really helpful is playing a scale on one string, on any string. You can take the G string. And feeling it not as a scale, but as a melody. La, do, re, mi, sol, la. Right, it's a beautiful melody, and I can do the same thing with different strings. And of course, one of the ways that I'm doing this is I'm aware of the notes, and I'm trying to keep this process of tagging all the time. So when I'm playing the notes, do, re, mi, re, do, la, do, la, sol, la, do, la. I keep repeating the name of the note, and it could be, you can say letters like A, C, D, E. It's totally fine. It doesn't matter if it's letters or names of notes like solfege. The point is that you're looking at the guitar and keeping this process of tagging. Although this is sounding simple, this is a big deal, and I know sometimes it's a little time consuming, but believe me, this is really worth your time. Another thing that I love doing is taking the scale. We can take the box that we know and playing it with 2 notes. Check this out. Kind of like just an exercise for a second in the lab, and of course it's going to be a little bit of clashes. This is simple, and of course maybe I can do it a little slower, but the thing that we want to be aware of here is how to bring this exercise, this concept of double stops, these 2 notes, it sounds really cool, into music, because what I just played was not music yet. So what I would do is try to play a line and contrast that line, basically kind of call and respond, if you will, with that idea that I'm trying to practice, specifically those double stops. So, right? Just kind of forcing myself to play a line, an idea, and then contrast that with this device that I'm practicing. Again, kind of seeing my work as the lab where I'm shedding the idea and understanding that this is maybe less than 50% of the work, because this is where a lot of people get stuck because we're trying to play these exercises, but it doesn't come out when we play. But we need to work on that, and we need to consciously right? I need to force myself to find these ideas and kind of utilize them. Another thing that I love doing that I think is a really helpful tool that I discovered is is playing very, very short lines and trying to make that cell, that basic small universe, right? Something that sounds good and trying to repeat that, like so. Try to find how I can make that little line sound better. A little change. So again, although this is really simple, or it sounds simple, yeah, I'm just playing a short line, this is a great concept to work on because it's not overwhelming, and I think this is something that I discovered to be very, very helpful. Another thing that I love doing is taking the pentatonic scale that we kind of know probably and adding the flat 5, which makes it the blues scale. Check this out. But before we play it, we want to sing it and kind of feel it, feeling the pain. I remember, picking the guitar and trying to start understanding the blues scale, just playing it up and down with no understanding, zero understanding where the notes are and how it sounds. And if you slow it down and sing it, you start feeling that painful and beautiful sound. Right? All that sound is that clash between the center, for example A, and that, and within the blues scale there are 3 points that are a little bit painful. The C, the flat 3, the flat 7, and the flat 5. And that's why a lot of these blues phrases oftentimes accent and kind of playfully playing with those sounds. And then eventually resolving that. Another cool thing that I like doing, and again, this exploration just help us to see the information from a different angle and therefore to process it better, is taking 3 notes, like we did 1 note, 2 notes, and we can do 3. So check this out. 3. And it's going to be clashing a little bit with the chords here, but if I use it properly in a solo, I can use that sound. It's just grouping of 3 notes within the pentatonic scale. So let's try. Okay, I got carried away a little bit with the chromatic ideas, but I was still kind of playing A minor pentatonic with a little bit of things around it and going back to that. Let's try it one more time. Right, so the idea of contrasting the elements, and again thinking about those 2 elements that I'm working on and trying to work with them in a clear and coherent way. Another thing that I was kind of doing right now is taking another pentatonic scale, which is here I use the E minor pentatonic just a little bit. So check this out, just the sound. Right, I get that kind of extension of the 9, and it's accenting slightly different notes within that framework, which is really beautiful. And what I want to do and want to try is to mix basically the E minor and the A minor in a solo. once we start feeling more comfortable with A minor, with E minor, then trying to see what notes we get and how we can mix it, it opens a big world of possibilities and information for us. One more thing that I love doing is taking the idea of like, okay, I'm playing within A minor pentatonic, but I'm gonna allow myself some more chromaticism. So I'm trying to kind of be open to play with colors. And I want to say the word colors again because I love thinking about it that way, because it just opens everything. Because you can play any note and it will sound cool. It might be clashy, but it's gonna sound cool. So within this process right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and be playful with the colors, but coming from the A minor pentatonic. Right? I know this is A, and I'm kind of pinching it with that G sharp. Maybe even the C sharp. Then I showed a very strong color that's super contrasting to what's happening harmonically, and I chose that to kind of push and then lock in again. That kind of idea of tension and release, it could be a little bit of tension, it could be a lot of tension, is something that is beautiful within music, and I think this is one of the building blocks of music. Tension and release in harmonic, melodic, and rhythmic kind of content. Let's try one more time. I'm gonna be just trying like more freely. So again, there are a lot of possibilities, and what I'm trying to encourage you all to do is to just be open to work with these small fragments. A minor, just those 5 notes, sing them, adding the blue note, understanding and feeling the tension, and also trying to play things that maybe are clashy, but trying to feel it in a truthful way. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this was interesting and helpful. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, I'm gonna play a little more notes.